We at CNBC TV 18 continue to track the results of election results of four key states, and very interesting results, slightly unexpected as well, especially for states like Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. I want to bring in our guest, Ninad Sethi. Mr. Sethi, I want to pose this question to you. Talking about welfare schemes. So welfare schemes like Karnataka elections, for these state elections also, it was the center of it was mostly talked about, and many candidates and all these key parties, they placed their campaigns around these welfare schemes. But I want to understand why exactly these welfare schemes worked differently for different parties and different candidates. For example, for Shivraj Singh Chouhan, it seems like it worked wonderfully. For Ashok Gehlot, it doesn't look like it worked that well. Is it because Shivraj Singh Chouhan has a history of delivering on his promises, and Ashok Gehlot couldn't, because when in 2018 he formed the government, at that time Congress had promised full farm loan waiver, which didn't happen. Is that one of the reasons?
No, I think, you see, the first thing to understand is things are the new normal. Today in India, you cannot win an election without, helping people, who have no safety net. So I think that is, now the mandate of democracy. The people have spoken that we need direct help. And that, I think, brings us to what works and what doesn't work. To my mind, cash transfers are being underrated. They are not being appreciated enough as something which has worked magnificently well in India. There were, when cash transfers were introduced, there were, many people who were saying maybe this guy will drink away the money that he's got. People have misunderstood or ill-appreciated the maturity of the Indian voter. The money has been used mostly for the purpose that it is intended. I personally think that what Rajasthan failed was not the, it was not on the front of welfare, but on other fronts. For welfare is just one part. You also need economic development, you need infrastructure development, and in my opinion, you need political stability. The fight between the camps within Congress while it was in power has hurt them. The image that the long shadow of corruption has hurt them. So I think that other factors hurt them. While the freebies are now par for course in any election. So unfortunately, and that by the way, that is a very big risk coming up for the national election.
All right, Ninad.
Long run.
All right, Ninad. We just come back to you, Archana. Yeah. I believe you had a question for Zafar Islam.
Yes, Mr. Islam. BJP is now leading in 3 states. And as I said, that posters, firecrackers, mithais, laddus must be ready. But again, let's be very cautious. What are your plans this evening? What is the BJP headquarters gearing up for this evening?
Well, there will be celebration for sure. And I'm sure that we definitely expect, we don't have any confirmation, but we definitely expect that the Honorable Prime Minister, along with other senior leaders, will definitely be here to address the Karyakartas, because at the end of the day, the contribution every Karyakarta made for this victory needs to be thanked by the Honorable Prime Minister and the senior leadership. So we expect that there will be huge turnout of the Karyakartas in the evening in Bharat Party headquarters from where I am speaking at the moment. And there will be festivities, there will be celebration and thanksgiving for all the voters, because it's a massive victory for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Something most of the survey had suggested that we are losing in every survey were suggesting that we are losing in Chhattisgarh. But see the margin, we actually have improved our performance so far. Whatever is appearing on your television.
Mr. Islam, I have a follow-up before I let you go.
All the four election we had got 49, 50 seats, but this time it has actually, our performance has improved. Yeah, sorry,
right. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure, like you said, that there'll be celebrations, and of course every Karyakarta's efforts counts. But I have to mention one thing, across the states, the one common pattern that emerged, that employment has been a very big issue. And that starts from the grassroots level. So one state after the other, what we saw was exams. kept on getting cancelled, postponed, and a lot of candidates could never appear for the exams and they are jobless. Can the BJP, if it emerges powerful in these 3 states, assure that the exams, the state examinations will happen on time and there will be no cancellations? Because there's a huge nexus that's at play and it affects the lives of many young people who end up being unemployed.
Certainly, whatever the issues which the common man on the street is facing, definitely we will live up to their expectations. But as far as the unemployment rate is concerned, is all exaggerated number which is being circulated in the media. The number which has been issued by the Ministry of Labour is 3.3%, which is the correct number, the unemployment rate. But in different channels and different people are speaking different numbers. But the fact is that the people are extremely happy. You just see the EPFO, number of people who are joining EPFO, ESIC, and many other organizations that suggest that number of jobs which has been created by the policies of the government. But still, if there is a concern of unemployment, definitely the Honorable Prime Minister will definitely address every single issue which the people expect us to deliver, and we will definitely live up to their expectations.
All right, one quick response from Anshul, the Congress spokesperson, before we go across to Hyderabad. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be getting you a voice from Hyderabad on the ground on what's happening there. A very interesting election in Telangana as well. But before that, Anshul, we are hearing that there could be an India Alliance meeting on the 6th of December. Could you confirm that? And the disappointments for the Congress in this election, what are some of the areas where the Congress will have to work on going forward?
No, the confirmation of the meeting, there will be an official confirmation of the meeting. You'll get that pretty soon. Well, if these kind of trends turn into some sort of grim reality for the Congress party, well, there'll be a lot of things to work on. We went into this election on a very positive platform, giving the people a composite economic package, right? Which meant that there was insurance of crop insurance as well as health insurance. There was asset creation. There was direct transfer. There was subsidies. It involved all sections of people, including women, the unemployed. That is wrong. The government figures are wrong that unemployment has actually decreased. Since it's a business channel, you would know that the number of people who are now getting employed now, the way the government exaggerates its figures, is low-paying, low-quality jobs. Our labor force participation rate is one of the worst, particularly of that of women. So we are not even talking about the people who don't even come to work or not even seeking work because they're so depressed, they're so crestfallen. So the employment figures are completely distorted here. What the government, as is the poverty figures, the 13 crore people have been lifted from poverty is a completely false figure. You haven't even had a consumption expenditure survey, which was last done by the UPA government. The one you did in 2017 was actually lies buried because your poverty numbers must be too high for you to actually disclose them. But that aside, as far as the Congress is concerned, in this state, if these numbers hold, it's not good news. We'll have to go back to the drawing board. We think we ran a very good campaign in Rajasthan and in Madhya Pradesh and in Chhattisgarh in particular. There were a lot of things that were offered to all sections of the people. Not only that, we were running schemes that we promised them. In Rajasthan, for instance, the Chiranjeevi scheme was unprecedented. It's a remarkable scheme of 25 lakh rupees health insurance covering 1,500 procedures, in which there were almost 64 lakh claims up till now. So we had schemes for the youth. We had schemes as far as health is concerned. We had mobile schemes. We had schemes for women. It covered all sections. We have to see how they didn't work. It's not just the economic packages that is a part of the election strategy. Sometimes people are willing to overlook the economic benefits or even economic distress, as in the case of Madhya Pradesh, and vote for a bigger emotional idea. I don't know if it worked. The Prime Minister came to all these states and tried to nationalize the elections, right? He tried to divert attention away from the Congress schemes, from what the Congress had done, from local issues. In fact, he's contorted the word welfareism into reverie. We know that. It's an infamous statement of his. But he went into Rajasthan, talking about 20 guarantees. There's a complete mismatch over here. But nonetheless, he tried to rationalize.
What is the larger picture as well, Anshul? I'd also like to introduce Ratan Sharda over here on our panel. Mr. Sharda, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to just take a quick update from our reporter on the ground in Hyderabad and come straight to you for your expert perspective. Sanjay Tiwari joining us from Hyderabad. Sanjay, what is the mood there? हम लोग यही सुन रहे थे सारे एग्जिट पोल्स में कि कांग्रेस के एज है. आप इस वक्त किधर हैं? क्या हो रहा है आपके पीछे?
मुझे आपकी आवाज बहुत साफ सुनाई दे रही भाई. वजह आप समझ सकते हैं, चारों तरफ ढोल नगाड़े और बहुत ज्यादा शोर है. शोर की वजह से लेकिन मैं समझ सकता हूँ कि आपका प्रश्न क्या होगा. जो कांग्रेस है वो लीड करती हुई नजर आ रही है और वो लगता है कि वो सरकार तेलंगाना में बनाने के लिए कामयाब हो जाएगी. भले ही उत्तर भारत से कांग्रेस को अच्छी खबर नहीं मिल रही हो, लेकिन तेलंगाना में उसके लिए जरूर एक रास्ता खुला है और ये दक्षिण भारत का दूसरा राज्य होगा जहां कांग्रेस अपनी सरकार बनाने जा रही होगी. बाकी राज्यों में जैसे तमिलनाडु में भले ही स्टालिन वगैरह के साथ उनको समर्थन है डीएमके को, लेकिन तेलंगाना में अगर सरकार बनाने जा रही है तो कांग्रेस के लिए ये दक्षिण में एक बड़ी उपलब्धि होगी. मैं आपको बताऊं कि जो परिवारवाद है, भ्रष्टाचार है, बेरोजगारी है, ये कुछ ऐसे मुद्दे रहे जो पूरी तरह से यहाँ पर तेलंगाना के चुनाव में छाए रहे. इसके अलावा तेलंगाना में जो पब्लिक का जो एंटी इनकम्बेंसी था, वो एंटी इनकम्बेंसी बीजेपी और कांग्रेस के बीच में शिफ्ट डिवाइड नहीं हो पाया. बीजेपी इस पूरी रेस में कहीं ना कहीं पीछे पिछड़ती चली गई और वो रेस में नजर नहीं आ रही थी. इसलिए सारा एंटी इनकम्बेंसी वोट कांग्रेस की तरफ शिफ्ट हुआ है. और जो उसके अलावा कांग्रेस ने अपनी गारंटीज का ऐलान किया, फ्रीबीज का ऐलान किया, उसने भी कहीं ना कहीं लोगों को उसकी तरफ खींचा. तो एंटी इनकम्बेंसी वोट प्लस कांग्रेस का एक शेड्यूल वो शायद लोगों को समझ में आया होगा. एक इम्पॉर्टेंट बात जो और भी है, असदुद्दीन ओवैसी एक बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर थे. उन्होंने बीआरएस के समर्थन का ऐलान किया था, लेकिन हैदराबाद को छोड़ दें तो बाकी तेलंगाना की मुस्लिम यानी अल्पसंख्यक कम्युनिटी ने, माइनॉरिटी कम्युनिटी ने असदुद्दीन ओवैसी की अपील पर भरोसा नहीं जताया है, ऐसा लग रहा है. क्योंकि वो मुस्लिम 13% से ज़्यादा वोट है और वो वोट अगर कांग्रेस की साइड पर शिफ्ट हुआ है, कुछ देर में जब हमारा परसेंटेज आएगा तो वो और क्लियरिटी आएगी. अगर वो शिफ्ट हुआ है तो ये कांग्रेस के लिए जाहिर तौर पर वो खुशखबरी लेके आया है. कांग्रेस की कोई आंधी या तूफान जैसी स्थिति नहीं है, लेकिन हवा जरूर है. और जिसमें 10 साल की पुरानी केसीआर की सरकार को, जो कि ये दावा करते थे कि तेलंगाना हमने दिया है, उसको उखाड़कर फेंकती हुई नजर आ रही है. जी.
So this was Telangana, and as you heard, he said that तो कांग्रेस की कोई आंधी नहीं है पर हवा जरूर है. फ्रॉम तेलंगाना आई वांट टू टॉक अबाउट और गो टू छत्तीसगढ़. आई वांट टू ब्रिंग इन मिस्टर रतन शारदा, सीनियर पॉलिटिकल एनालिस्ट. मिस्टर शारदा, थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर टॉकिंग टू अस, फॉर स्पेयरिंग टाइम फॉर अस. What I want to understand is, in Chhattisgarh, till the last moment, it looked that Congress was very strongly positioned. Bhupesh Baghel, in his interview to CNBC TV 18, said that up ki baar 75 par. BJP had very little going for it. What happened? What changed that now we are seeing such a massive, shift? Because Congress was more than confident that it was going to cross the 75 mark.
Well, first of all, I must tell you that a month back I had gone to Chhattisgarh, and the BJP supporters there said that we are ready to fight for BJP. Baghel is not doing a good work. People are against him, but somehow BJP has not come up with any leadership. Now they seem to be interested. And then onward, BJP shifted gears, and the cadre on the ground and people everywhere worked so hard. Just a week back, I got a figure that BJP will get 50 to 55 seats. So surprise to me is that why not one of the pollsters, not a single pollster got the figures right. Neither the opinion poll nor the exit poll. This is a lesson for pollsters, and they need to wonder what's gone wrong with them. And the work on the cadre on the ground and the false, promise of Baghel all got exposed. For me, the main point of election somehow is the big rejuvenation of Congress, winning Telangana, that too with a very good margin. Though the points picked up are very bad in the sense they are divisive. They talked of caste census. They gave only Muslim manifesto, which had special provision for only Muslim health facilities, only Muslim education, etc., which in the long run is very harmful. Congress is a national party. I've been saying for the last 10 years, Congress with 20% votes even at the lowest place should actually be surviving for the good of Indian democracy. So survival of Congress in Telangana, and from a position where it was a hated party because of messy division of Andhra Pradesh, has come back because one of its willingness to fight it out. Secondly, BJP's reluctance to put up a great fight. And that is the reason, though BJP has scored very well from 1 to 9 or 10, whatever it comes to, maybe 15. It could have been the main factor, and it could be really triangular contest, and Congress would definitely have got a hung assembly. Second point, the big lesson, as you rightly pointed, Chhattisgarh. Third is again winning back of MP with such a huge margin in Madhya Pradesh is not just Mr. Modi, it's Mr. Modi and the very emotional appeal of Shivraj Singh Chouhan, his work for women. And he's not being called Mama now. He became a Mamaji many years back when he used to travel by foot to various places and look at the issues of women. That's when he got the name of Mamaji. He has done a tremendous job from place where everybody wrote off BJP in MP. They said that Rajasthan will be difficult. You see a huge turnaround. So Modi's appeal and also the strategy. See, people laughed at them when they brought in ministers and MPs to fight in these states, but ultimately it paid off. So whether you ridicule or not, you must agree that BJP has solid intelligence in terms of electoral mathematics and chemistry. That is what is very important. And I think this appeal to the minority has worked for Congress in Telangana at a very heavy cost. And you find that AMM actually has lost seats, which shows that minority votes have shifted to Congress, but only hope this anti-Hindu stance and pro-Muslim stance will hurt it very badly. And its strength is going to be its weakness because India alliance will crumble because Congress has a habit of being very arrogant when it rises. Because you cannot write off even in MP, Rajasthan, etc. Though may not win elections in 2024, this strength of Congress would make it lose the UP totally. Akhilesh is not going to support even one seat for Congress. And secondly, other alliance partners who have lost out, like regional parties like BRS, they will also be afraid of Congress. So this rising Congress is good for BJP because it becomes the main opposition in terms of 2024 election. But it's bad news for all other parties who are trying to stitch up a very mythical India alliance, which I think will crumble now.
Right. So talking about BJP here, Mr. Sharda, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. So if I could ask that if you want to, give credit to the victory, whether it's Rajasthan's victory or Madhya Pradesh victory, who will you give the credit to? Modi factor, Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the way he turned the whole election, upside down, or Congress's camp, which was, there was a lot of unrest and infighting, pilot factor. What exactly worked in favor of BJP in both the states?
See, the trailing of Congress ministers and Congress leaders is a big lesson for Congress. They would be surprised. Even Sachin Pilot is trailing now. So that is something that Congress has to ponder over. I think the infight of Congress and, the headquarters of Congress or other Nehru family have not been able to give equal justice to leaders of various factions. It has acted very hands-off and taken decisions which hurt other leaders in the place. And this very high and mighty attitude towards local leaders may have hurt it. And Rajasthan, of course, has a history of changing governments every 5 years. But no doubt that Modi ji turned around Rajasthan because there was no leader in Rajasthan. Again, it was a mistake of BJP that it did not create a leadership in Rajasthan in last 5 years. But somehow Modi ji pulled it off. They will find a leader now who will be successful. But I think all these factors, Chhattisgarh, local BJP cadre, MP, Modi ji, and of course, Modi ji and Madhya Pradesh, Modi and Chauhan, and Rajasthan, purely Modi ji. That's how I'll put it. And Congress' own arrogance that they will win anyway.
Please stay with us and we will go across to Anshul again. Santya has been getting us that analysis for some time now, Archana. But if we right now look at the numbers, yes. The BJP standing at about 160 leads in Madhya Pradesh, 106 in Rajasthan, Congress 65 leads in Telangana, Chhattisgarh 54 for the BJP. But all the big faces, interestingly, be it Kamal Nath, be it Vasundhara Raje, Raghavendra Rathore, Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore, Ashok Gehlot, Sachin Pilot, Bhupesh Baghel, All of them are trailing currently, so no clear leads on their seats as of now. But we are getting an update from Jaipur, aren't we?
Yes, so we are joined by ETV's Sudhir Sharma from Jaipur. Sudhir, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Although it is Rajasthan's trend to vote the next government, to vote the incumbent government out, the revolving door policy as it's called. But when we see the numbers here, was the Congress expecting such a setback in a state which has seen rebellion one after the other in the Congress?
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो हम अपडेट्स की बात करेंगे कि जो अपडेट्स है बीजेपी के पक्ष में 106, यानी जब 2018 का इलेक्शन हुआ था, whenever 2018 बीजेपी won 73, now 2023 बीजेपी गेटिंग 106, ऑलमोस्ट जो विक्ट्री है उसके पूरे समीप पहुंच चुकी है और बीजेपी की जो प्रदेश कार्यालय है वहां पर जश्न का माहौल हो गया है। यहाँ के तमाम जो बड़े केंद्रीय नेतृत्व के प्रहलाद जोशी जो थे वो यहाँ पे पहुंच चुके हैं और पूरी तरह से बीजेपी इस समय भगवा के रंग में रंग गई है। और जो बात की जाए कि अभी कांग्रेस केवल 76 सीटों पर कंस्ट्रक्शन कर रही है, यानी माना जा सकता है कि पूरी तरह, क्योंकि 199 सीट्स के लिए मुकाबला हुआ था जिसमें 100 सीट जिसने वोन कर ली वो मेजोरिटी में आ जाएगा और वो सरकार बनाएगा। यहाँ ये कह सकता है कि बीजेपी के पास कोई चेहरा नहीं था, कोई मुख्यमंत्री का फेस आगे नहीं किया था। दूसरी ओर अशोक गहलोत जो थे वो प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री, वही कांग्रेस की तरफ से चेहरा था। यानी अशोक गहलोत के जादूगर के सामने मोदी की जादूगरी, यानी प्रधानमंत्री मोदी की जादूगरी चल गई और कमल को और मोदी को फेस लड़के जो चुनाव लड़ा गया था उसमें बीजेपी ने जीत दर्ज कर ली है, क्योंकि 106 107 सीटों पर वो अभी आगे चल रही है, जिसमें कांग्रेस अभी 76 सीटों पर ही आगे है। जहां तक इन चुनावों की बात की जाए, राजस्थान की चुनावों की बात की जाए, तमाम योजनाएं सोशल सिक्योरिटी की कांग्रेस की तरफ से दी गई है, जिसमें खास तौर से सरकारी कर्मचारी, गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉइज जो 2004 के बाद लगे थे उनको लुभाने के लिए यहाँ पर ओपीएस लाया गया था। जिस तरह से हिमाचल प्रदेश में ओपीएस की घोषणा की गई थी, राजस्थान में भी ओपीएस की घोषणा की गई थी और ओपीएस के बाद में भी यहाँ पर जीत का आंकड़ा कांग्रेस क्रॉस नहीं कर पाई और यहाँ पर सीधे तौर पर अब जो है बीजेपी की सरकार बनती हुई नजर आ रही है। जी
Sudhir, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने के लिए. Let me quickly go across to Anshul before we take a break. Anshul Avjeet, the spokesperson for the Congress party. Anshul, one very quick question. What do you think has gone wrong in Rajasthan? We were just discussing, you had strong leaders there, Ashok Gehlot, a strong chief minister, a lot of welfare schemes. Yes, this is a state which has not repeated any government for the last 25 years. But do you think somehow the tensions between Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot have cost the party dearly in these elections?
Like what you said, I mean, there is a kind of a historical ambivalence, a serial ambivalence shown by the electorate of the state. You keep changing it. That is the historical tendency. And I think the state might have succumbed to that yet again, what you call the revolving door sort of politics of Rajasthan. It could have, they just don't like one government at any point of time, no matter what kind of benefits are given. So I don't think it's an indictment of any of the policies or the governance of Mr. Ashok Gehlot. By all accounts of what you read, of all experts and analysts, he ran a very, very competent and robust government. A number of schemes were given out, as you pointed out as well. These were composite economic schemes that covered all sections of society. And they were not really given out for the sake of, winning votes. They had to be done because of a certain kind of economic crisis. I mean, people have to be protected. People have to be given a social security net. We don't have that in our country. If unemployment is a huge problem, we had an urban MNREGA scheme in which 1,100 crores were already given for that. There were job cards that were given in wards. So unemployment was covered. The unemployed youth were covered. Mobiles were given to women. There was the Chiranjeevi scheme with covered health. So a number of composite economic schemes were given. The Prime Minister came into this battle, and I was there in Kota, Hadoti area for pretty much quite a lot of time there. He had a meeting in Kota as well. He tried very hard to nationalize the issue. I don't think he succeeded in doing that. I mean, even Pakistan was brought into the narrative of Rajasthan. The BJP can't sleep without mentioning these words in any kind of election. Right. So these kind of issues were brought in. I don't think that had an effect. They tried to nationalize it. I think it was still local. I think it was historical reasons that has given the, the big break to the BJP. But more important, I think the setback in Madhya Pradesh is something that is worrying for the Congress party. I would admit that clearly. Chhattisgarh still looks too close to call. I've seen elsewhere that still things can change here. So it's still too early to call that. It can go the Congress way as well. So, but Madhya Pradesh, I think, would be something quite worrying for the Congress party, for all of us. We'll have to go back and see the reasons why. I think we ran a pretty robust campaign. It didn't pay off. We'll have to think why.
All right, thank you so much. The big headline is that BJP is ahead in 2 states. Very close neck-and-neck fight in Chhattisgarh and Telangana. Of course, we can see the Congress has leading advantage. Final question to sum it up, Ratan, Sharda. What do you think these numbers are going to do to the BJP and the Congress's confidence ahead of the 2024 elections next year?
As I said, for BJP, 2024 looks very easy now, because Congress will be on its own. For Congress, it's good news because it will become main opposition and very powerful opposition, hopefully, by the next election. And as far as regional parties are concerned, it's bad news for them. And India Alliance, as I said, will break down. But for me, I think this sustained support to BJP, even in the worst of situations, whether it's MP or when it was, they were there for 18 years, still they won it in a huge margin. The turnaround in Rajasthan, despite there being no leader, and huge turnaround in Chhattisgarh, and also foot in the door in Telangana, bodes very well for BJP. And I think 2024 for them is a very easy walk now.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Sharda, for joining us. That's all we have time for on this edition of Election Exchange. Archana and I, Sandhya, our colleague, and our entire CNBC TV 18 newsroom is doing the number crunching for you. We're getting you updates from the ground. Keep watching us for analysis through the day. We'll be back at 1 p.m.